Yes, everybody, what's going on? This is Stephen Howson. This is Premier League Preview. Manchester United facing off against West Ham at London Olympic Stadium tomorrow afternoon. Weirdly, at the same time that the under-18s are playing, which is proper annoying. But this is what we have to live with, and this is what we are going to have to live with. Clearly, there's a lot of speculation about whether Paul Pogba is going to start. Now, Jose Mourinho in his press conference said no one's trained better than Pogba. He trained the best on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and what little bit we've seen today. His attitude's good. He's going straight into the team. So I think what you're going to see with him is he's putting all of the emphasis on Paul Pogba to perform this week. Obviously, rested midweek. There's a Pogba at the moment is the first in everything for, he's joint first in goals, chance creation, passes, everything. He is first in for Manchester United. He is the guy that is providing all of the spark for us, all of the creativity for us. When he doesn't have a good game, Manchester United don't have a good game. So if he's playing well, hopefully Manchester United will play well. And I think that we've got to get it out of our system this week. We've got to shake off the draw, which wasn't the worst draw in the world, but it was so flat and empty against Wolves. And then Derby was one of the most boring games I've seen. I think United, going into those two games, looked like we're just about to turn a corner. And we needed a victory against Wolves, and I'd been like, do you know what? We can probably do something this season. But the confidence goes, and I think you're seeing the reflection of this on the pitch. As soon as United concede a goal, everybody's flat. Everyone just have it taken out from underneath them. And they're absolutely nothing like coming back at all. Pogba and Mourinho is becoming a sideshow. It's becoming a bit of a circus. You saw the press conference, if you did see the press conference today, talking about everything that's going on between these two, making it a massive TMZ. Mourinho is trying to play it down. He is trying to deflect it a little bit, and he's trying to be like, oh, there's nothing happening. But ultimately, it's an issue. There is an issue here massively, and it's egos. It's Paul Pogba's ego. It's Jose Mourinho's ego, and that's the problem. I am going to come to the questions later, so make sure you're banging in some questions. If you're liking the video, please like it and subscribe as well. I don't know what the answer is. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Is defeat here the end for Jose Mourinho? If we don't go to West Ham and win, or even get a draw, because I actually think a draw is not the craziest result to get here against West Ham, but I think a defeat, like a humiliating defeat, like a 2-0, a 3-0, don't even look up for the fight. Would that be the end for Jose Mourinho? Because I think it probably would be. I don't know if the board have got the balls to get rid of him, but I think if we did lose, would that then be the end completely? Like, could Jose Mourinho recover from that? Like I said, I'm going to see what you dudes are saying in the comments and see what everybody's saying. I'm going to give you my starting 11 as well later on. Well, let's talk about West Ham a little bit and what to expect with West Ham. So they started the season off pretty poorly. They've started to turn it around. I do think Pellegrini is a decent manager, and he started to find a little bit of form. And what's been key to that, and quite surprisingly key to that, is Declan Rice. He has been an absolute linchpin for them in the number 6, and he's vital to protecting that back four. Because when you look at Yarmolenko and you look at Felipe Anderson and you look at Arnautovic up front, that's a forward three that's got to scrap and get you goals, and it's got a little bit of quality and a little bit of flair in there. The midfield, it's got a bit of scrap in there, not a lot of quality in there, but the defence is their weak point. I quite like Masukau at left back, but Zabaleta is an absolute weakness, and I think Zabaleta is the one that I would want him to be targeting. Whoever's on that left-hand side, whether it's Sanchez, Luke Shaw, you'd hope, getting in that corner and getting in behind him is what United need to do. And we probably have to play a little bit on the counter against this side as well, because they will sit in that complete deep block and just be like, nope, and try and hit Arnautovic in a chance. So we have to watch for the counter, but also play them on the counter, because when they get forward, they actually get forward in a few numbers, and that's when United will find the space, and that's when United will be able to get in and get behind them. Should we have a look at my starting 11 then? Because I think we can probably talk for quite a while looking at the starting 11. So I don't think there's many surprises in the back four. Talking point wise, I think having Valencia in over Dalot, I still think defensively I've not been 100% convinced with Dalot, although he definitely offers infinite amount more in the final third with his crossing. His crossing is definitely something that I think we could really benefit from. Valencia goes in because of defensive capabilities, which I still haven't seen from Dalot. Luke Shaw starts because he's been fantastic, probably player of the season for United so far. Lindelof and Smalling at centre-half, because I feel like that's the centre-half partnership that Jose Mourinho's trying to forge, obviously David Net. The midfield three, I thought, with how Fellaini's been playing, which has been pretty good so far, and I don't think it has been as hype-worthy as some people have been giving it. I put Fellaini as a contributing factor for a couple of goals recently. The Wolves goal, everyone focuses on Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba loses the ball. Well, his midfield partner's still behind him. He's got the entire back four behind him and the goalkeeper behind him. It's not like he rifled it into the top corner himself, is it? But Marouane Fellaini proving to me that he's not a number 6 by the way he didn't attack the spaces where a number 6 would be, and didn't spot the danger of Moutinho, and he also didn't spot the danger of Mason Mount being in that area. His ball watches far too much. He is not an intelligent enough footballer to play in that role. He can do some specific job. When he keeps it very simple, he offers a little bit of quality on the ball. He's obviously a good target man, but he doesn't have the footballing intelligence to be a proper number 6 and operate in that area. He's not aware enough. He's not looking around enough. He's not spotting the danger and putting out fires before they start enough. 2 goals in the last 2 games that I think that Fellaini being in the right position would have prevented. And that's not exonerating Paul Pogba from losing the ball, from trying something daft. Absolutely not. And I am also not exonerating Diogo Dalot for allowing the cross. Turns his back, lets the cross come in. Both of those things would also have prevented it. But I think that a contributing factor has been Fellaini not being a number 6 as a natural number 6. And I think that is a slight issue for us. So Nemanja Matic plays. Now I do have my reservations about Matic as well. And I do have my reservations about this midfield. I'm just trying to preempt what I think Jose is going to do. I'd like to have seen Fred in there. I definitely would have liked to have seen Andreas Pereira in there. I think we need that speed. Matic for me is far too slow. Dally's on the ball just a little bit too long, and I think that slows United down just a touch. Pogba's going to play for obvious reasons, with Jose obviously saying the same as well. But then I've gone with Ander Herrera as the partner in midfield. He only played 60 minutes midweek. Now, he hasn't really been seen at all this season beyond that. But I just think that when you talk about attitude and you talk about what players are going to deliver for you, you know what you're going to get with Ander Herrera. And if you're looking for a team that's going to fight, you want somebody like Ander Herrera in the team. And I think with how much Fred's played, with how much Fellaini's played, if he wants to keep his midfield fresh and keep his options available for the Champions League, then I think he throws Ander Herrera into this one as well. And having Ander Herrera and Matic as a part of a midfield 3 basically gives you the license to let Paul Pogba go and do whatever he wants in the final third. So I'll come to the comments in a second and see what you guys are saying about it. Now the forward lineup, Alexis Sanchez, because I don't know what Alexis Sanchez needs to do to get dropped. I thought Martial looked quite bright against Derby County, but I'm going to say it's Derby County and I expect more from every single person that stepped onto the pitch in a United shirt, to be honest with you. Lukaku will play again. Lukaku won't be dropped. He's too vital to the way United play and the system that United play. Although I don't think he, on the last couple of games, deserves it. He had opportunities to put that Derby game to bed. Let's hope it's a blip and he carries on and gets through it and gets back to his normal goal scoring. But on the right hand side, I think Jesse's looked a little bit lethargic, and I'm wondering how much he played in the World Cup, lack of a pre-season, starting to catch up with him just a little bit. Marcus obviously had a bit of a break because of being banned for 3 games. He looked extremely bright. The reason that he ended up getting sent off is because he absolutely toasted Phil Bardsley. And I think that if Jose's got that in his head and he wants that pace, that intensity to try and get in behind this defence, Marcus Rashford is the man for that job, in my eyes. Jesse and Sanchez and even Juan Mata, they're a little bit similar. They all like to come and play short, intricate passes. They like the one-touch stuff and they like to try and get in and around the D. Marcus Rashford can stretch the play. Marcus Rashford can be someone that you can put a ball into a channel 50-50 and know that he's going to get on the end of it. He's different to what we've got, and I think that's what we need, is a little bit of difference. So for me, that Marcus gets the nod on that right-hand side. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a whole host of changes. Now, what I think is extremely interesting, and I haven't been able to confirm it just yet because we came live literally as everyone was assembling at the train station. But Tahith, Chong, Jimmy Garner and Angel Gomes didn't feature today for the under-23s. I'm hearing that they might travel. Not that they'll be featuring, that they might travel but not feature. So they might just become part of the first team setup a couple of times and then get thrown in. They might feature. But I think if they are going to feature, it will be on the bench only. There's also a bit of a whisper that Mason Greenwood is part of that travelling contingent. We're not going to know until we see exactly who travelled today from Stockport, or when the team sheet comes out for the under-18s tomorrow and he's not on it. And you know, by that time we'll already know what the bench is and what the first team is as well. So that's that. Righty, this video is sponsored by BetBull, and if you would like to get in the mixer with BetBull, they sponsor all of my Premier League previews. Yep, hit it. You can go and get the link in the description below, and I'm giving away £100, and I forgot to do it in that video, so I'm going to do it live right here, right now, I'm going to make Cameron absolutely shit his pants while I try and get him to maybe put the X Mirage on live while we're doing this. I don't know if he's got the capabilities, but we're about to find out. So you can download BetBull. The link is in the description below, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick an acca on at the moment, and we are going to put on, hang on, just let me save this over to him so he gets it. It's going out, that it's going out with the X Mirage on it. Window capture, left hand side. There you go. There we go. We're going to put an acca on. I'm going to go with all these. I'm going to go with a few different draws. I think that Wolves are going to win. I think City are probably going to win. Can you full screen it for us so I can see the rest of these, please? No, do it now. That's what I'm going to be going for. You've got this on as well at the same time. This is an absolute shit show, isn't it? Basically, I'm going for an absolute mad acca, which should come in around about £3,000, but we can spin the wheel as well and find out how much that's going to bring in. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick it on and see how much we're getting in. Like I said, the link is in the description below, and if you're following me, you can win £100. So all you've got to do is get on there, download the app, start following me. We do this every single week, and someone live on air will just win £100 simply for following me on the app. We've got a 30% price boost. Boyakasha. That means nearly £4,000 off £4.56 is going to be coming in with this highly unlikely acca that I've stuck on, which probably going to go completely tits up in the first one. So that is BetBull. Download the link in the description below. Are we ready to try it out and see who's following me? 282 people following us. Let's have a quick look. We are literally doing this live right now, so I'm going to click on followers, and we are going to just choose some random person, and then we're going to go with Reese A. That sounds like a blag name, doesn't it? We're not going with that one. Full-time Devils 99. Right, we're not having them either. We'll go with Debo 90. Debo 90, you just got £100 stuck into your account. Congratulations. I'll give you a follow so you know that's the crack as well. This is happening live right now. All you've got to do is download the link, follow me, and you don't even have to put a bet on. Just get £100 stuck into your account for following me. It's as simple as that. But if you'd like to, it's a social betting app, BetBull. You can come and follow my acca that I've just done, and you can potentially win just short of £4,000 for £4.56, whatever that was, which is, no, let's be honest, probably highly unlikely. Righty then, let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Remember, keep liking the video. There's nearly 500 watching, and there's only 70 odd likes, so get liking it. And I'm going to come to you guys in the questions now. If I can find where I've put all the questions, here they are. Righty. Pogba will lose the ball carelessly at least once per match. This is supposed to be our GOAT. I think you'll find the players who lose the ball most are generally the most creative. That's how it happens. The last bang game was the League Cup. Yep, for Marcus Rashford, it was. What did I think of the press conference? I thought he did a lot of really sane answers. He didn't say anything that I didn't expect, really, to be honest with you. He gets paid 89 million and can't be asked to look around and see if there's an opponent near him. We didn't get paid 89 million. That's how much we paid for the guy, didn't it? Can we give away a holiday and a car as well? Do you know what? On a very serious note, my throat's going. On a very serious note, BetBull have said, if I start hitting certain thresholds, think about it, I'm just short of 300 on there at the moment. If I start hitting certain thresholds, not only will we be giving 100 quid away, but we're also going to start giving away match tickets and stuff like that. So just come and follow me on the app, and the prizes are going to get better. Who knows? They might give away a car. Probably not, let's be honest, but they might. Who knows? Adeturnan says, I'm still waiting for 4-4-2 with Rashford and Marshall up top. Only way to break these teams that sit down and defend with two banks of defenders. I'm not sure I'd go with those two particularly, but I absolutely do want to see a forward two. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. Lion says, Rashford is fucking shite and has done nothing to warrant a start. I don't care if he's English. Marshall deserves to start ahead of him. But that's what you're wrong, Lion. When you look at what you want your wingers to do, you want them to be creating for other people. Rashford, when he played the other night against Young Boys, he put in some good crosses. He was creating chances for other people. He was getting in behind. He was also doing defensive work, helping out Diego Dalot. I know a lot of people wasn't mad for it, but I really enjoyed his performance. I really did. J. Carlo, you have to hope China or the Middle East still fancy Sanchez because no club in Europe will pay half his wages. That's a bold claim. Marshall deserves to start, says Jayan. I'm not 100% in agreement with you on that one, but I'm sure there's plenty that are. Most creative shouldn't be careless of losing the ball on the edge of your box or in the middle of the park. I'd agree on the edge of our box, but middle of the park, you're looking at 80-90% pass completion from the middle of the park, which means that you're going to be giving it away sometimes. And like I said, I'm not excusing him giving it away. He did give it away, but you're going to say no, like 100%. Benny says the kids didn't travel. The pictures are at Stockport. I've only seen a couple of the pictures. I'll take your word for it if they didn't. But I know that Mourinho did this with the Chelsea game in the Cup in his first season when we had Zlatan was injured. I think Marshall wasn't injured. Zlatan and Rooney was injured, and then Marshall and Rashford didn't travel. They got a later train, and that was just to sort of, screw Chelsea up a little bit if they was looking it out. Bilal says he didn't do anything against Young Boys. Both him and Marshall were shit against them. I disagree. He put in, people looking at Dalot's performance of putting crosses in. Rashford put as many crosses in, completed crosses. It's not his fault that someone getting on the other end of them isn't doing anything with them. They was completed crosses. So I think he did. That's my opinion. I think he did. I thought he had a good game. Rashford does nothing I want a winger to do. What, beat men and get crosses in? That's literally what you want a winger to do. I would argue that Marshall doesn't do what you want a winger to do. Marshall's not about putting a cross in. He comes in for himself generally, which is why I did want to see more of Marcus on that right-hand side. I think Rashford could play right wing, similar to how Mbappe does, almost like a right centre forward, giving a run of games on the right, says Andrew. I would agree to an extent. I think you've got to judge him on the back of like half a dozen games. I don't think you can just judge somebody on the back of one game here and there. I think that's got a bit of a problem that we ultimately suffer with. Someone comes in and out for a game and we expect loads from them. You really need a run of 5 or 6 games to see the best. When's the last time Rashford dribbled? Marshall crossed amazing crosses for Lukaku twice. Against Derby. He didn't play in that game. I admit, yeah, he did have a couple of good crosses against Derby, but he didn't against Young Boys. He had 0. Go says we should play 5-3-2 with the low and short as wing-backs. That could be interesting because both of them are very attacking-minded. If they've got a weakness, it is in how they defend. So I would tend to agree with you on that one. Marshall's not a winger, though. In my opinion, it's wrong to see him play as such. Just thinking, as Henry would have made a good winger, Marshall is a striker, in my opinion. They think that they all started on that side, though. The chances of you getting a game down the middle is extremely unlikely. Like, we're talking about some of the youngsters maybe travelling, maybe not travelling. I'll tell you this for free, Mason Greenwood will not play as a number 9 for United until he's in his 20s, or 20 at the very, very least. Because it's easier to integrate somebody on a wing. There's less that can go wrong if you're on a wing. That's why it's easier, and you see the likes of Fosu Mensah played as a fullback rather than a number 6 or at centre-half, because it's easier to integrate on the periphery rather than down the spine of a team. It's extremely difficult to integrate someone down the middle. Shaw needs to put in more crosses since our wingers refuse to. Yep. Martial stays much more wide than Rashford, and he can actually beat his man, unlike Rashford. See, that's just nonsense. They both are pretty good dribblers that beat their men. Rom needs more crosses. I definitely agree with that one. He also needs to start finishing some of his chances as well. He's had a lot of opportunities that he's failed with this season, and I'd like to see him start putting them away and get back to what he was doing at least a little bit for us last season, where he was pretty damn effective. Remember, keep liking the video. Just short of 100. Let's get it over 100. No, wing-backs require experienced players, not 19-year-old. That's not true, to be honest. You can play someone as a wing-back if they're inexperienced, not a problem. Centre-half is where you struggle playing a 19-year-old, to be honest, but if they're good enough, I generally would play them. Jay says, I think Martial would be a good false nine now if we could move the ball faster and add more people running in behind. I think running in behind is the problem, yeah. Harold says, you're saying it's just Derby, but they shut down Lukaku and other senior players. Martial, the only one who showed desire. I'm not sure about who's the only one who showed desire. He was bright because the way he plays, he's a selfish player. Selfish players generally can look good, but they're not necessarily doing things for the benefit of the team. Not necessarily the case against Derby, but I'm saying, please remember, this was just Derby. Do you reckon we should rest Lukaku and play Sanchez down the middle? I don't think so. I understand what you mean. I understand. But no, I don't think it's going to happen. On a personal level, would you rather get rid of Pogba or Mourinho? Probably Mourinho, I think, ultimately. I could see, if Pogba's kept around, him being a bigger benefit to the club in the longer run. I don't have the confidence, and there's no evidence that Mourinho is going to be around for the long run. So I would have to say Pogba. Would love to see Pereira get game time. Was hoping he dropped Pogba and threw Andreas in. It could happen. He's got that sort of ability, and he's a creative player, so he definitely could do that. Rashford has regressed. He has no idea what to do as a winger because Jose doesn't give attacking players strict instructions. See, you can't give attacking players such strict instructions. Most players don't get strict instructions. They're given strict instructions for the middle and the defensive third, but in the final third you're relying upon instincts and individual brilliance to make things happen. You can set a structure of playing, but you don't give strict instructions to forwards generally. I also say he hasn't regressed. If he's regressed, then you'd be able to stick him in the under-23 side now and he would look like a normal under-23 player. You couldn't put Rashford in the under-23s now. That's absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. There's no way he's regressed. He's a young player that's played a hell of a lot of football that needs to be improving in certain areas, but he also needs to be played consistently. You don't improve unless you're getting consistent games, and I don't think Martial or Rashford have gotten properly consistent games since the arrival of Sanchez. Stephen definitely has an agenda against Martial. He's been better than us for Sanchez, full stop, says SW9 Advantage. He probably has been better, but I think attitude goes a long way. It goes a long way with me, it goes a long way with Mourinho, and I don't like the attitude of Anthony Martial. And I don't like what I was hearing about what was happening with him in the summer, coming out and saying he's gone, wants a new club, this, that and the other. So I don't have an agenda, but I also don't like when people have got a shit attitude. So that's that. Mohammed says, Lingard has seen a dip in form since last season and the World Cup. A few of our players have. Actually, are they still recovering from the summer? I think so. I definitely think so. I mean, Harry Kane as well, supposedly the greatest striker to ever lace a pair of boots up, is looking a little bit as well like that. So I think there's probably some sort of truth in that. Possibly even Lukaku as well, to be honest. Why not Pereira on the right-hand side? I think Rashford doesn't play well under Mourinho. Everyone else is going to get better. See, of course Rashford can play well under Jose Mourinho, but I agree, I'd like to see Pereira played off that right-hand side. He's not progressed very much though, has he? His finishing was lethal, now it's meh. His finishing was lethal, but it wasn't his norm. In the academy, he was very hit and miss. There's nothing that's shown you he was going to come and score with, like, I mean, what did he, it felt like he scored like 4 goals with 5 shots in those opening games. There was nothing he was doing in the academy. he regressed to how he was playing in the academy now. But he is not, in terms of finishing, but he's not comparable to the player that was playing academy football. Greenwood reminds me of Robin Van Persie. Look at the way he moves. Yeah, the way he moves is very reminiscent of Robin Van Persie, but I don't think he was that sort of natural goal scorer in the way a striker is. I think he's a natural goal scorer because he's just got this unbelievable ability, but he's not like a real number 9, if you know what I mean. He's an attacking player without a shadow of a doubt, but I think he's still got a lot to learn to be a proper number 9. The hold-up play, the places to run and things like that. Andrew96 says, can tell you were a squaddy. Don't know how. I mean, not from the shirt, I don't think, but all right, whatever. Thoughts on starting Delo? If he does, then good. I just don't think he will. Yeah, that's the one. We're struggling for goals and having Lingard in the team doesn't help. Can you please explain what the hell you're on about there with that? How doesn't Lingard being in the team help? Explain that. That's madness. I'll play the Pereira on the right-hand side of Rom, says Lath. Pogba needs to go, says China. Okay. Watching West Ham, they play exactly like United. Totally disagree. We don't have a number 6 that's doing anything like what Declan Rice has been doing at all. RVP, one of the most technical strikers I've seen. I don't think we've got anyone like that anywhere in our club. No, absolutely not. We don't have anybody like that. We've got a couple of forwards like Burkhardt is an absolute speed merchant, more like Michael Owen really than anything else. Mason's more Ronaldo-ish. I think he could probably grow into someone that could play as a number 9, but like in terms of, again, when I compare him to Ronaldo, I'm not saying he's got the same level of ability as Ronaldo. I'm saying that the way that he can operate across the front three, and he's not a traditional number 9. That's what I'm talking about. All right, the way I'm talking about attitude. Yeah, you're probably right. Attitude goes a long way. Pogba playing tomorrow, says Wajid. Yeah, I think so. Judging by what Mourinho said in his press conference, I would have thought that is legit. Lingard is bang average, that's why. I hope this helps. All right, cool. So him being bang average scored how many more than the best player the Premier League's ever seen, Eden Hazard, last season in a shit United team? Good one. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to download BetBull. The link is in the description below. Come and follow me on there, and then we can start offering better prizes. At the moment, it's 100 quid. Who knows? We might be able to give away a Death Star or a fighter jet. Maybe something like that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Laters.